Yo! Horror movies are mostly famous for their killers, actually, is what I have noticed, and that is what this video is going to be about. Ignore that Eric Draven is in this picture. If you didn't notice him, then there you go. You can do a little Where's Waldo type of thing with that. But yeah, this video is going to be about, horror movie killers. Like I said, horror is mostly, I almost said mostly, Jesus, mostly known for their killers and whether that's the eccentric type like Freddy and Chucky, or the silent but deadly type like Victor Crowley, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. I can't believe I said Victor Crowley before them. Jesus. I think I've been watching too much Hatchet. I've definitely watched Hatchet more recently than any of the Friday the 13th. But yeah, this video is top 10 horror movie villains. I don't know. If you like horror, you'll love this video. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't made it yet. And if you don't like horror, then just stay, watch it, and like, and comment so that this video gets more traction. Because God knows I need more views on my videos. But yeah, let's just jump right into the video with number 10. Number 10 is Mark Hoffman. Yeah, this used to be one of the ones that I absolutely hated whenever it came to the Saw franchise, just because, okay, Jigsaw, like Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, his main power is that he knows exactly what's going to happen. He's a genius. He's playing 3D chess while we're all playing Go Fish, basically. Mark Hoffman's power is that every character around him automatically becomes the dumbest person ever, which is fun to watch up to a point. Honestly, this last, rewatch of Saw that I did with my fiance has opened my eyes to how cool he really is. Yes, it is annoying that every character has to be so stupid for him to actually get as far as he gets, but it's not completely awful, because he is like a shining star in the pitch blackness of those movies. Like the pure pitch blackness of their dumbness is overshadowed by his bright shining light. I don't know. He's just a really cool character. There's a scene where they're being dumb still. Like, they know it's him. They know he's the Jigsaw killer and everything. And they just sit there and wait for the, voice thing that's, triangulating the voices and everything. And then I don't know, it's just weird. They put, I don't know, it comes up and it's Mark Hoffman's voice, and it's like, you're feeling very, I don't know, freaking weak or whatever right now. I made an edit. I made a Mark Hoffman edit with that scene. So if you want to see that, I don't know, just go over there and watch that. It's in the edits playlist. But yeah, and then he stabs him and kills everyone. He's a cool killer, but everyone having to be so dumb for him to actually win actually just makes me a little bit angry. But then this last rewatch, like I said, taught me that it's not him that makes me angry. It's just everyone being so stupid. And he does have a huge part in the franchise as a whole, like from 4 all the way up. He's he's the main one, and I don't know. He's just a really cool character that does a lot in the actual plot of the movies and everything. He gets Amanda and Jigsaw killed. He kills, Agent Strom, one of my favorite characters in Saw, and he does a lot. He gets a lot done. He gets business done, is basically what he does. It's just annoying that everyone around him has to be so stupid. Okay, I know number 10 was a long rant about all of that, just me explaining it and everything, but this is going to be a lot more simple. Jason Voorhees is in one of the greatest franchises ever. These movies are pretty consistently good, and Jason is just a really cool force of nature that cannot be stopped in most of his movies. This movie has a remake that one of the main remakes that I point to prove to people that remakes can be good is the Friday the 13th movie, the Friday the 13th remake to be specific. But yeah, this is a really good franchise, and Jason's a really cool killer. If I had to put him up against the other 3 stalking quiet killers that I talked about, like Michael and Victor Crowley, I'd say he's top for me. him and Victor Crowley are probably even above Michael for me, just because I don't really know. I just think they have really cool stories and everything. They're just really cool, honestly. Number 8 could not go to a more deserving person. This is just a really good guy, you know? He's the epitome of amazingness whenever it comes to a horror movie villain. Look at him. He's just such a goofy little guy. Brad Dourif is just the epitome of amazingness whenever it comes to horror movies. He's one of those actors that I point out and actually know his name whenever I see him in movies. He's in a few really good movies, but he is Chucky. Like, there's no actor that could replace him. They tried with Mark Hamill, and I don't know. I just, no, it didn't work for me. That entire remake, I just didn't like. I actually watched it for the first time recently, and I just did not like it. It's not good. They should not have tried to replace Brad Dourif. But yeah, Chucky. Yet another one that the franchise is relatively almost always good. Like, I can't point at any of the movies and be like, I hate that movie. I at least like all of the movies, and most of the movies I absolutely love. And the TV series, oh my god, don't even get me started on the series, it's so good. Number 7 goes to a character that is basically the same as Chucky, meaning it's, you know, short, goofy, funny, really cool. Yeah, played by an amazing actor, being Warwick Davis. This is another character that I do not think could be replaced. The Leprechaun remake from Sci-Fi Channel wasn't bad, but it definitely was not Warwick Davis, which actually made it go down a little bit for me, like, ratings-wise. But yeah, this is just a really, really cool character. The magic, the way he talks, the riddles, the rhyming, everything about the Leprechaun is so cool. And how if you, like, he's kind of like a djinn in some of the movies where if you make a wish, you know, like a monkey's paw type of situation. He's just a really cool character. He's actually awesome. The magic he uses, he's one of the most overpowered ones in, like, the horror genre, I think. Not like the horror genre as a whole, because then we would get into books and everything like that, and like the Lovecraftian universe is just completely overpowered, and there's stuff outside of that that's even more powerful. Like, we'd be getting into like science fiction and stuff, you know what I'm saying. It's like in horror movies he's one of the most overpowered. But yeah, the Leprechaun is just really cool. He's really funny, goofy dude, played by Warwick Davis. It cannot be understated how important he is to this franchise, because he is the Leprechaun, like, all the way through it. He's awesome. It's just a good franchise. If you haven't watched any of these, definitely go check out Leprechaun. It's really good. Number 6 is a relatively new slasher killer, which is Art the Clown. I mean, obviously he's right there, but yeah, he's relatively new. He came out in All Hallows Eve, don't remember when that came out, and then All Hallows Eve 2 came out, haven't seen that one. The first one does involve Art the Clown. Then Terrifier came out to Netflix. I think it was a Netflix, no, it wasn't a Netflix original, but I watched it on Netflix. I don't know, man. I don't know where it came from, honestly. It just appeared one day. But that movie was relatively well liked by everyone. Everyone that watched it thought it was either really, really good or the goriest thing ever. Wow. And yeah, and then Terrifier 2 came out, and I have a mini movie review for that. If you want to go and watch that, definitely go and watch it. There's a playlist for all my movie reviews. Definitely go check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna plug that right here. But yeah, Art the Clown, like I said, is relatively new. He takes the silent aspect of Jason and Michael and them and mixes it with the funny, goofy aspect of Chucky, Freddy, all of them, and gives a really good physical performance, leading to a very unnerving and very funny, kooky type of performance. And I honestly absolutely love it. Art the Clown is definitely like on top 3 for the my favorite newer slasher villains, or just horror villains in general. But yeah, he's really cool. Number 5 is the Djinn from Wishmaster. I said master on accident, but that's not my fault. My brain works faster than my tongue can. Sounds weird now that I said it out loud. It's fine, whatever. The Wishmaster, or the Djinn, is actually really cool. He has a very cool design. This is the first one that's up on this list, mostly because of his design. The actor portraying him, I don't know what his name, has an amazing villain voice, and just good physical, I don't know, physical movement, whatever I said for art, can't remember, physical performance, there we go, boom. Jesus, I need to get my memory checked, my god. But yeah, great physical performance, great effects for his design, great design in general. Whoever designed him, like, actually came up with this design, deserves a raise. This is just really cool, really simplistic, yet really appealing to the eye, and very disgusting in some parts, like with the design, which is what you want for a villain, especially in a horror horror fantasy like this. This looks like something that you could definitely find in Legend with the Scientology guy. The one that needs to get out of the closet. Tom Cruise. Jesus. My god. Tom Cruise and Tim Curry plays the devil in that. If you haven't watched Legend, you should go and watch that. That's the only movie with Tom Cruise that I like. Yeah, I had to double check with my memory, which we all know is amazing. Yeah, this is just a really cool villain. This is another one with the monkey paws type of situation. There's one where Kane Hodder and Robert Englund are in the first one, which is really cool. I'm pretty sure Tony Todd makes an appearance too, maybe? I think I remember him being in this, but I cannot remember exactly. It's been a little bit since I've watched the first one. But yeah, Kane Hodder says something, and then the Jinn is like, then I'll have to go through you, because Kane Hodder's the security guard. Well, obviously you don't if you haven't seen the movie, but I'm trying to explain it, I swear. He says, then I'll have to go through you, and Kane Hodder goes, I wish you'd try, and he goes, your wish is my command, and he turns into the door, like he gets stuck in the glass, and it's really cool. It's really funny. It's awesome. It's goofy, kooky fun. Yeah, these are just really good movies. There's one part in the second movie, I'm pretty sure, where a robber is like, I wish I was never born, and he gets such a horrifying fate. He reverts back to a baby very slowly and then just disappears, and it's so creepy and weird. But yeah, these are really good movies. There are some really funny, like, backfired wishes too, but I don't want to spoil those. I'll just spoil those 2 wishes so that you know kind of what you're getting into if you do watch these. But yeah, you should absolutely watch Wishmaster if you like these goofy 80s movies. These are honestly like some really good movies. Like this is yet another one in this list that the franchise is actually just really good. Like, most of the movies are absolutely amazing. Okay, number 4 and number 3 were really, really close. Like, as I started to record this, I actually looked down at the list and I was like, oh, but do I really want number 3 to be above number 4? Like, I know for a fact 2 and 1 are where they need to be, but these 4 and 3 are, like, actually hard to decide between. So these 2 can be interchanged, 4 and 3 can. But, yeah, right now, number 4 is Pinhead from the Hellraiser franchise. This franchise is the first one that we're gonna get to. Wait. Saw counts for this too. But this is the second one we're gonna get to, where it's not completely amazing all the way through all of the movies. This franchise is very, very mishmashed with really good and really bad. Like, there isn't basically no in between. You can definitely tell whenever the people who owned Hellraiser, the rights to Hellraiser, like the film rights, I mean, whenever they started to panic about not having a movie yet to where they were going to lose the rights, so they just threw out one. And yeah, that's basically how it went until Hulu made their Hellraiser movie, and you could tell that it was actually a really good one. But we're not talking about the, who played the female Pinhead? Was it, I think it was Jamie Clayton? Maybe that was her name? I don't know, I'm not looking it up. But, yeah, this one is played by Doug Bradley, a really good actor who I honestly don't know what he's from other than this, and I think he was in a few plays with Clive Barker, because him and Clive Barker were, like, really good friends, I'm pretty sure. I think I saw that in, like, the documentary or whatever. But yeah, yeah, he's just in this, I think. This is yet another one where if you change the actor, except for the new one, I think that was fine, just because I don't know why that was fine, actually. Maybe it was because it was actually a good movie. Maybe that's why, because the other Hellraisers without Doug Bradley absolutely sucked. And I don't know, maybe it's because they went a completely different direction with his character. Like, maybe swapping genders was actually a good idea for that. But the book has it to where you can't even tell what gender, like, Pinhead is. So, like, I mean, I don't know. You can't go wrong with the gender and stuff of Pinhead because the book literally says you cannot tell what his gender is because, you know, all of the piercings and everything. Yeah. Pinhead is definitely one of those characters that you can do a lot with, and I think that might be why I love him so much, even though the main one that I like is Doug Bradley. Like, you're never gonna see me comparing the new Hulu Pinhead to this Pinhead, because Doug Bradley Pinhead is just better in every way, honestly. But, yeah, this is definitely 4 for now, and will probably be bumped up to 3 later, because like I said, 4 and 3 could be interchangeable like all the time. Like even now while I'm making this, like I said, I was kind of questioning whether it's 4 or 3. But yeah, let's go on to number 3. Number 3, as of right this second, is Freddy Krueger. This is yet another killer that could never be replaced actor-wise. Ever. Like, this is the first one that I've gotten to that they've tried and failed. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna get another Nightmare on Elm Street movie because the remake tried to switch out the actor and nobody liked it. That's just because that movie was, well, I don't know, I might make a movie review for it one day. I have a lot to say about that movie, but yeah, they shouldn't have tried to replace him, especially Jackie Earle Haley actually did pretty good with what he was given, but he was given complete garbage to work with, like script and other actor-wise. Yeah, he could have done good, but he didn't, because the script and the movie in general was just awful. But yeah, Robert Englund Freddy is obviously the one that I'm talking about right now, because he's just the best. If you ask anyone who Freddy Krueger is, they're gonna know who, because it's one actor, and like, I feel like most people that like Freddy Krueger know it's Robert Englund, and know when it's played by a different person, because there's just a vibe that Robert Englund gives off, like a really goofy yet creepy vibe. I don't know, it's just, he gives it his own flair and flavor, and it's a good flavor. Tastes good. But yeah, Freddy absolutely deserves to be in number 3 as of right this second. Because like I said, 4 and 3 can be interchangeable a lot of the times. But yeah, he's just a really goofy, extravagant killer. The first movie and the third movie are definitely my favorite ones, just because they go with he's a dark killer, but also a funny dude. Like, he can crack a joke, but he's not doing it 24/7 and just shoving the joke down your face, being like, oh, you get the joke? Do you get it yet? Like the later movies. But yeah, this is just a really cool killer. Number 2 is Candyman. I'm not going to go into the intricacies of why his character is important to movies and stuff in general, and like what his whole story is and everything. I'm just going to go ahead and say that Candyman is a really cool designed, really sad backstory, and he's played expertly by Tony Todd, who has a beautiful honey-like voice that pours all over the screen. Yeah, Candyman is one of those characters that I would say has the Dracula flair, because he can go from this, a bee-spewing evil monster, to this, a gorgeous heartthrob. Look at that man. God, he's so beautiful. But yeah, go watch Candyman if you haven't seen it. Like, genuinely, it's a really good movie. Even the remake is good. Like, most of these movies, okay, the first and remake are good. Don't watch any of the others. But like I said, Tony Todd is absolutely amazing as Candyman. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Candyman's just really, really sick. I love this character, and it's just really sad, like his backstory and everything. I'm gonna end up making a video completely dedicated to Candyman later. I just decided this. Like, I didn't make this video because of it. I decided that because of this video. But yeah, on to number 1. Number 1 is The Tall Man. The Tall Man is from Phantasm. If you have not seen those movies, and you like movies that feel like fever dreams, that have like weird dwarf creatures from Star Wars that help a crazy interdimensional being that looks like an old man, then definitely go and watch this movie. If go watch the movie before you finish this, because I might talk about spoilers. I don't really know, but yeah, this killer is just really cool. Everything about him is amazing and iconic. Every time he sees the main character, he always goes, "Boy," and I cannot do the same voice that Angus Scrimm does, because he just has a really cool voice. All of the killers like at the top have really cool voices, like Freddy Krueger, even Pinhead, and then Candyman has, like I said, a honey voice, and then the Tall Man has the voice of a angry old man that wants you off of his lawn and will kill you if you with the lawnmower if you don't leave. Angus Scrimm, like I said, is the one who plays him, and he plays him perfectly. He sadly passed away, and that is the reason we probably will never get another one of these movies. Phantasm 1 to 4 is some of the greatest movies you'll ever see, and Phantasm Ravager, which is the 5th one, was written as a fan film and then got taken. They took some parts of a whole bunch of fan films, like scripts, and put them all together, and it turns into a jumbled mess that is not very good, and is not a very good send-off for any of the characters, but I hated it. I was about to say I still enjoyed watching it, but I do not remember enjoying it whatsoever. I love 1 to 4, though. Ravager is literally just a fan film, though, so I mean, who cares about that? Let's just erase that from our minds. But yeah, the Tall Man is the epitome of a character that it's like the meme where it says the character in the movie or the character in the game, and then it says the character in the lore, and it's like freaking Kratos taking down the entire pantheon of every godhood ever, or Doomguy decimating God himself or something, which I mean he technically did in his own game, but he's stronger than that in the lore, so I mean I don't know. But yeah, he's the epitome of that, because in the movies he's taken down fairly easily. Like, it takes a lot of work, but he's taken down fairly easily. But he actually has an army of clones that spans, like, alternate dimensions and everything. Phantasm brought in, like, alternate dimension shenanigans before the MCU did, okay? They did it first and better in every way. So he's got a whole bunch of those clones. He has a planet of his own that he uses the dwarf dudes to, like, take stuff over there and stuff. I don't know, it's just he's a really cool killer that they could use a lot of expanding on to make him even cooler. He's like a worldwide threat. I said Leprechaun is probably the most powerful, like, out of a lot of horror movies and stuff, but like, now that I think about it, the Tall Man is one of the most powerful creatures in fiction, but isn't that strong compared to some other, like, horror creatures and stuff. So horror actually does go wild whenever it comes to power scaling and stuff. But yeah, he has an infinite amount of clones that'll just come in if he gets killed, and all of the dwarf dudes that help him, and he has his own planet that he can teleport to at any time with a machine that he created. This dude is awesome. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that he's the definition of that meme. But yeah, this is number 1. Yeah, yeah, Tall Man's sick. I hope you enjoyed this video of me ranting about characters that I really like. I might do a part 2 to this, because I have enough slasher and just horror in general, villains and killers and stuff that I like, that I definitely could do like a part 2, 3, 4, and 5 probably. But yeah, if this gets enough likes, and by that I mean if it gets like 1 like, I'll do it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please tell me what your either top 10, I know no one's gonna type their entire top 10 list down there, because that's just way too much work. But yeah, definitely tell me your favorite horror movie villain. Maybe tell me who you think is the most powerful horror movie villain, because until I actually started thinking about the Tall Man and how, like, actually busted he is, I never really, like, understood how powerful horror villains were outside of, like, the Lovecraftian mythos and everything. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe hit that oh my god, I almost said like, subscribe. Maybe hit that like button. Maybe lick that subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like and subscribe, do it now. Okay. See ya.